It shall breathe!
Alright, so this might be about my fourth or fifth time trying to film this particular intro where I explain what the hell is going on. As you might have surmised from the intro there, yes, I have in fact ordered and received some Corsa exhaust long tube headers for this bad boy right here. And these things are going to be, I can already tell, an adventure in and of their own right to deal with. Like right now, I've already called an exhaust shop about installing them, a local one. They don't do headers. All the others seem closed today. And I might have to wait until like Monday to contact any other local ones. There is one that is not super far away, but far enough away that will do them. But again, they're kind of out of town, not as local. I guess small bitch and complain, that is. But that's the current situation as far as these headers go. Tail light wrap is also done, and it is fitted now. It is fitted on the car, and I think it looks damn good. I mean, look at that. Look, it's a nice matte black finish, and they even got this. This is what I was talking about. They actually got the little middle piece right here. Anyway, back to the subject at hand here. The long tube head. Look at these gorgeous works of art. I mean, look at that. You got Corsa Performance badge right there. You just try to, come on, buddy. In the second box, well, this box right here, like the head gaskets and shit like that. In this box, we have the extension. We have the extension pipes with the connectors for the rear O2 sensors as well. So it's pretty much all hooked up, and this came all together as one kit, directly from Corsa. Now I bought it from, I believe it was LME Motorsports, something like that. I'll put the link to them down below, but I got it off of that site. This is brand new too. You got to keep in mind, this is something that Corsa has just started making, which is these. So I can be the first Corsa Performance equipped RT Challenger on YouTube. As far as I know, I haven't found any or seen any yet as of me saying this anyway. I haven't found any other RTs or really much anything else that have got the Corsa Performance headers yet. So I can be the first one to have Corsa Performance headers on YouTube. Maybe not in the world, period, like altogether, but the first one that has a Challenger RT or just a Challenger on YouTube with Corsa Performance headers. Now, I was originally looking at Cooks, and Cooks ain't bad at all. But I ended up landing on these because this came as a full kit. I don't have to, order these and then that separately. And Cooks does have a kit, but their kit was significantly more expensive than this kit was. And everyone really runs Cooks, which is, within reason, because Cooks is good. But I dare to step outside of the proverbial box. I want to be different. I strive to do different things than most. That's what I'm going for here. I was trying to consider, before you ask, am I going to install them, or am I just going to alternatively just install them myself? I would love to. I would love to install the headers myself and treat it as a learning experience as I have everything else. I've done all the other simple upgrades so far. I did my exhaust. About 2 hours in, and we got them out. I've done my cold air intake. Done that all on my own. But I mean, with my limited knowledge on this kind of stuff going into it, simple isn't quite as simple as it would be for someone who has all the knowledge in the world on it. These don't seem necessarily hard, but just super fucking involved, if that makes sense. But let me just explain what I have to do. This coolant reservoir right here, according to the instructions, is I would need to loosen the bolts on that, and so that way I can move it and set it aside. Not remove the whole thing, just move the unit around, give it some moving room. I'd have to take out the whole cold air intake. That's the tube, you know, detach it from the manifold, detach it from its mounting area, all of that. I'd have to pull the cold air intake back out. This is what I was talking about in the last video. Let me just sit down here with you. After I have, and just so you know I'm not making this up, see right here, I have to detach the terminals to the battery. Then I have to remove the engine cover, unplug the cold air intake sensor, disconnect the entire cold air intake system, loosen the screws for the coolant reservoir to allow for easier access to the manifold bolts. Hold on, there's more. Once I do that, I have to have the car lifted, at least 3 feet of clearance they recommend, which I'd be best with a lift, in other words, and I don't have a lift, obviously. Unplug the driver and passenger rear O2 sensors from the connectors, remove them and label them, just so that way you don't forget where the hell they go. Get rid of the engine cover, which, you know, or remove the engine cover, rather, don't get rid of it, and set it aside, which is done already. Loosen the 2 nuts on the factory X-pipe inlet and remove the catalytic converters, basically, after you remove their nuts or whatever. Basically, at this step, you get the catalytic converters ready to remove them. And then after you have removed the catalytic converters, you have to unplug the front O2 sensor. It's just the whole thing. You see, like, there's what, I think there was like 6 pages just for the removal, like front, back, for just the removal of things. You have to loosen up the steering wheel shaft and, you know, mark it and remove it. Then you have to remove all these heat shields. There's a whole thing that you have to do for the removal of it. And I wouldn't mind trying to learn it and do it myself, but I don't have the necessary things. And let's just call the lift what it is. It's not really an option, it's a necessity for something like this. I don't have one. I don't know of anyone that has one that will let me use one. I just don't know of anyone that has one, period. But nonetheless, anyone that will let me use one. So at this point, I don't really have the capability to try. I don't have the capability to try to work on these headers myself, although I wouldn't mind doing work. But I think that I have done damn good doing all this other stuff that I've done myself. And I don't see it as necessarily having to be a necessity that just because you're a car guy, you have to work on your own cars, or you're not a car guy. I just think that's pretty bogus. I kind of share my opinion with Street Speed on that. I think it's a bit bogus knowledge. I'm not saying I would mind having that knowledge and doing all the work myself, but I just don't have all that knowledge, and there's some things that I don't have the capabilities to pull off myself, this being one of them. But I've done all this other work so far, so hey, pay someone else and give myself a break, I guess, at this point. Now, it's not going to happen today. I mean, it's going to happen in this video, but it's not happening today. July the 14th today, on a Saturday. I'm going to take care of all of this stuff either Monday or next Friday. I haven't decided which way I want to go with this yet, but I called this one shop, and I think that's the one I might go with and pay them to do it. Either way, it's going to be like Monday or Friday, depending on what shop and how far away the shop is. Now, if it's like I can find a local shop on Monday, I'll drop it off Monday and I'll pick it up Tuesday. And that's when you'll get this vlog in a really uncharacteristic way. all this stuff has happened in such fragmented ways that I couldn't make full videos out of them, so it's now all from all these other days compiled into this video that's probably going to be like 20 minutes long as always. But I'm sorry about that if that's what ends up happening. But that's my go on rant for now, and I will see you all on header day. All right, so it is Friday the 20th, July the 20th, and I am going to head out to Muffler Masters and get this stuff installed. As you can see, it's all packed away, as always, all nicely into my car, and we're gonna go take care of this and get it done this morning. So you're probably wondering what happened that morning then. Why am I sitting here in a chair telling you about something instead of showing you some nice, awesome, louder exhausts that sound kick-ass, because long tubes do that? Well, what happened that morning as I went out there, I got out to the exhaust shop thinking that they would do it, thinking they were one of the few shops that didn't care about the legality concerns. That shop, they just said they wouldn't do it since they were catless long tubes, even though they didn't make any indication otherwise on the phone when I called them originally. So that's what kind of had me upset. That's what had me upset that morning, was the fact that they didn't tell me on the phone in the first place that they wouldn't touch catless, only catted. And you might say, well, you should probably just naturally assume that, but I argue that no, I shouldn't, because there are in fact shops out there that will do it. And since they didn't say otherwise when I called and told them what I wanted, I figured they were one of them. So, oh well. They were one of the few shops that I found that would even touch headers at all. Like most of the shops I was calling, no, we don't do headers, we don't do headers, we don't do headers. These guys said, yeah, we'll do headers, but that's basically what I got. We'll do your headers. I gave them the information of the car. They gave me an estimate, and I was going to go with them. That's the extent of it. But then I go out there and I find out this bit of news. So I guess the journey continues. So part 2 of the headers adventure will be coming out sometime in several work hours at my workplace later, because I'm going to go to MXA Motorsports to get this particular mod done, and it's going to set me back a good bit. There's a whole thing kind of going on there, and if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to follow me on all of the journeys that I'm going to be having coming up on this channel, and if you want to get notifications of when my videos go live for my other adventures that I have with all this mess, feel free to ring that notification bell down below, as well as following my social media linked down below. You'll also get cool pictures on my Instagram that way. So there's your bonus, and I'll see you all in the passenger seat next ride.